Good afternoon. It is Friday, June 1st, 2007. This is Brian Shannon speaking. The market's closed. S&P 500 gained another 0.44% today as these spiders were up 67 cents. And it was another great week for the bulls and starting out to be a good month as well. So we've got a very nice uptrend continuing. This past week we saw this trend line break last week rather. And it looked as though we might have been setting up for a little bit of consolidation, but buyers had other ideas, and the market really took off on Wednesday, and we've been continuing to add to those gains. So we've got the market up at all-time highs, and the bull march is on, making higher highs and higher lows on this intraday time frame. I think you've got to look for next week that support. Short-term support should be found around 153, 153.10, somewhere in that area. We've got that rising 5-day moving average. They'll be catching up to the market. And there's just no evidence at all of sellers taking control here. This is where we had the buyers come back in on Wednesday afternoon, and it's been buying that's continued since then. So nothing really changed. Same with the Nasdaq. Nasdaq 100, I was concerned that I thought perhaps the breakout a couple weeks ago, once that failed and came back in here, that it might mean, since it was back in this range, that we might be due for more of a pullback or correction through time. But always give the benefit of the doubt to the buyers when we have a rising 50-day moving average, because the buyers did come back in. And once again, the market closed up 3 cents today. Not as good as the S&P 500, with just a 0.06% gain, but still, a gain is a gain, and it's continuing to add to these multi-year highs. When we look at a 10-minute time frame, you can see that we've had about 5 days up now, and I think 47.20 is going to be our initial short-term level of support. Then below that would be that 46.80 that we had been watching as resistance earlier in the week. It took that out, and that's where this buying began. But again, zero evidence that sellers are taking control here. There's no reason to be looking for short sales. The path of least resistance is higher. However, there are individual stocks on a case-by-case basis where, at least for a little while, we can get a short play, like we had in Akamai this week. But you have to be quick to take those profits, because the market can turn around quickly, like we saw in there. But the IWM Russell 2000, above that 83 level, the buyers took control on Tuesday, and has been, again, the strongest market out there. 0.64% today, so that was better than the S&P 500 once again, adding 53 cents. So each day it seems as though the percentage gains are greater in the Russell 2000, and that just continues to add to this multi-year all-time highs that we've been seeing in the Russell 2000. So clearly that's where the strength is. The semiconductors, I sold my calls today. It came up to where we were looking for potential resistance at that 20-day moving average. I don't think it's done going up, but I think that little trade, it made sense to sell the calls, so that's what I did. But here we've got a real nice rally the last couple days. I wouldn't be surprised to see pull back down towards 36.70 or so. And we've got a rising 5-day moving average on the daily time frame. We had support found at that 50-day moving average. We had a MACD divergence in here, and on the weekly time frame, this level. This 36 level did prove to be an important level of support. If the market breaks down below that going forward over the next weeks or months, then I think there's going to be bigger trouble for the market. But for now, it doesn't exhibit any signs of weakness. It was just a pullback within a primary uptrend. And again, keep a look on this 5-day moving average. We were close to getting bullish back in here a week and a half ago, but it never cleared a higher high right here. And the path of least resistance in the short term was lower because we had that declining 5-day moving average. So keep an eye on the direction of the 5-day moving average. Once it starts to turn sideways, then you want to start thinking about setting up your buys and then getting involved on the long side with a rising 5-day moving average. Let's take a look at the stocks we've mentioned last night. First of all, starting out with Alexion, ALXN. The plan in here was to look for a pullback to $48.30 or lower, and then buy strength above 48.40. So we did get that weakness, and you can see it opened actually right up here. So the people that chased it up to 48.60, it was dumb to buy the gap, and then it was dumb to buy the weakness, because you're just guessing. You don't want to buy 43.40 on the way down, because then you got to suffer through 30 cents of decline. Instead, wait for the buyers to retake control, and that's where the momentum came in. Let's put our stop now in Alexion up to $48.68 a share. And you should have been in at, like I said, 48.40. TTEK, this is Tetra Tech. The play in here was to buy it above 22.10, and right now you want to set raise your stop underneath this low here. So let's raise the stop to $22.85. Cepheid, CPHD, we've gotten involved above $11.80. Let's now raise our stop up to $11.82 a share. That'll ensure we don't take a loss. I didn't mention this one last night, but I've been mentioning it a couple times this week and told you to keep your eye on it above that 685, 690 level, and that is this Presstek. There's a big short position. This is what happened this afternoon, and here it really took off. So hopefully you guys had that one on your radar, as it was a nice light volume consolidation in here, and looks like it can still continue higher. I've still got those call options that I purchased, and hopefully you guys are involved in that as well. The one that didn't work for us today was GERN, symbol GERN. We wanted to buy that above 930. I did buy it there, and I did get stopped out as well. Our stop was down at 908, so you should have lost 22 cents a share. Have a great weekend. I'll have another video for you this weekend with more ideas, so look out for that.